Good morning. It's still pretty cold in London, and you can see from my clothes. But we're almost at the end. If they don't decide to modify the weather and make it, you know, stay cold or to alterate the weather to make it hot. So it seems like it's not anymore up to the nature, but there is something else out there that is capable to alterate what we experience temperature-wise. The story today is about mushrooms. Not the mushrooms you have in your meals, pasta, and so on, but magic mushrooms. Magic mushrooms for whoever just been dropped into this crazy planet by accident and doesn't know what it is. Magic mushroom is something that allows you to alterate your state of consciousness, basically can modify your inner frequency, so to connect to this other realm that we basically call the other side, we call the other. So mushrooms, magic mushrooms like DMT, LSD, ayahuasca, and so on, it's been used from many people for different reasons. For people that are not aware about the spiritual properties, it's used just for like for fun, just to have some different way to do it, to having fun, experiencing sort of like like visions and I would say for who doesn't do it for spiritual reason, it's more like the feeling like they're having some sort of like hallucination, and it's for them to have fun in a different way. Now, if you do it for spiritual purpose, if you do it to try to connect with greater answers, obviously what might show up, it has a massive shift. You might have a massive shift in your beliefs, and if you already had that massive shift, it can give you like important messages or answers about your spiritual search. Now, I met so many people telling me that their personal stories with those with mushrooms or LSD and so on. And some of the people I met, they changed completely their existence. Just to say one, because I found that was really interesting at the time. I was in Bangkok a few years ago, and walking around doing some sightseeing. I saw in distance this guy that he looked like one of my favorite writers, Tiziano Terzani, that died years ago. And he looked really like him, especially in the last part of his life, when after India he grow his beard, wearing white, looking, like a guru. So when I got closer to him, he was an European. He was white, so kind of like could have been American. He could have been European, or anyway, like a Westerner. Anyway, so I told him, I said, "Oh, like you look like my favorite writer," and And then and he got curious, and now he got curious, and he asked me to show him like pictures of him. So I did, and he was kind of like happy, like he had fun. He realized that there was a really something similar. So obviously, if you see someone, if you see a Westerner dressing in that way, like with the long beard, dressing like some Indian guru. So you know that something's going on. Something is going on inside his soul. So I couldn't refrain myself from asking what made him, you know, it made him to be like this, like it's like why what he was doing in Bangkok and so on. So he tells me that he lives in India, and that was in Bangkok, that he came to Bangkok. He didn't specify why or for which reason. So I was curious to know like how long he lived in India and why he moved to India. And he explained that something happened many years ago. He decided to leave everything behind. And initially he moved to Tibet, where he lived in a monastery, a Buddhist in a Buddhist monastery, and then moved to India. So I asked him what was this incredible experience, and he tells me that when he was young, like some of his friends for fun made him take LSD, and that was completely transformed him. Like basically he was able to see the connection between all of us. He said he could clearly see there was this energy that connected all the people, and he completely understood. He was able to understand completely what's going on in our society, and how we are more than this body, and how life is much more than just sitting in front of a desk pressing button, and day in day out, day in day out. So he said like when then he came back in himself for a while, he tried to figure out what was going on, to the point that he couldn't anymore accepting that kind of reality, kind of life. And in search of answers, he quit the job, left everything behind, and moved to live in this Buddhist monastery in Tibet in search of answers. So this is like one of the many stories of people I met telling me that their experience, on mushroom, acids, ayahuasca, LSD, DMT, but obviously the countless story I read, on books, on internet. But the story today that I was supposed to start to tell you earlier, and then I got to other stories, because it's very easily to, when you start to experience so much in life, it's easy to start with one thing and then I go there, then go to another story, and so on. But the story here is my good friend that a few weeks ago called me while I was in Italy visiting my mom, and he tells me about his experience with the magic mushroom that was absolutely transforming. So, he told me about initially when he took it, he felt really nervous. He started to feel worries, anxiety. There was, he said, that a fear and he was really panicking. So now he didn't take the mushroom alone. He done a ritual. That is the one that if someone wants to do it, that is the best thing to do, if you, especially if it's the first time, because you have someone guiding you, protecting you, and making sure that you're okay, so that they can help you to face any fears you might have when the magic mushrooms start to take effect. And that's what happened to my friend, because initially he had this, he was not having a good trip, basically. And the guy that, was guiding him kind of helped to make sure that he would stay grounded, that he would not completely, panic and lose control. And to the point that he kind of got back in control, and he realized that there was nothing to be worried about it, because he was the driver. And he told me, he told basically to the universe, to God, that the reason why he was doing that trip is because he wanted the answer. It was for a higher spiritual reason. And he said that as he said that, feelings shift, feeling shift, and all of a sudden he said he was engulfed with peace, wonderful, immense peacefulness, and that's when he started to get those answers that he was looking for. He understood why he was with his girlfriend. He understood why he is who he is, and he understood, what was going on in life. And he started to have visions. If I remember, he said he saw ball of energies creating geometric pattern all around. Look while he was looking up to the ceiling, and then he started to see other things, but mostly it was an inner understanding. So he said that basically he opened like a door inside his consciousness, where he became aware of what was the reality. It was like his brain was expanding with knowledge and understanding that he normally doesn't have. So he said that, well, apart of the inner peace, but he knew things that he didn't know before. He was, receiving informations, like a computer. So he knew why his journey is as it is. But he said with no worries or fear or judgment, or no why, or there was no questions. He just knew, and it was fine. So it seems like, it's very common that people that I know that had the MTOS, so on, and had because it's different experience for everyone, but I would say one of the most common, exactly what my friend had, where in that state you first you have you have this peace, this tranquility, and your mind expand, and you have a understanding and answer to question that you didn't have before. So everything becomes clear, and everything's have a purpose and a meaning. But like there is in the state, like most of them told me, there is no surprise. It's not like, oh wow, I know now. Oh my God. Like it's just like a, oh, yeah, it is how it is. They say like this, perfect. No worry. It's only after when the effect finish and you are back, retaining that information. That is when you, like they say, is like this incredible, this surprise, this excitement for all what they saw and experienced. So somehow, when people that takes those, how can I call? I like to call medicines. Not are just able to connect to another frequency, another reality, but in that state there is no like sort of like surprise or amazing amazed like to there is no like a feeling of surprise. There is no feeling of excitement. It's just like if it is like this, there is nothing normal, there is nothing strange, and it's completely accepted, like completely like it is the most normal thing in the world to understand the meaning of life. So that really, I always been thinking about it, and it's been now a while that I wanted to do ayahuasca. That cannot be done in the UK, but I want to do mushrooms, and I already had my stories. I already had my stuff that without mushroom, but I'm just intrigued to understand if I could see more, or understand more. Because in my case, I have some pieces of the puzzles, and I don't have the bigger picture. And this is basically for most of us, and really few seems like able to have like the big answer. And normally happens when from those people that had a near death experience. So they died, they came back. Don't want to have the answer in that way, if possible, but I really intrigue from that possibility. Now, many people told me that it's not like automatic that you take those medicines and then you experience a different state of consciousness. Sometimes like nothing happened, nothing. So, but I'm seriously intrigued, and especially after like my friend's story, that's really fascinates me. And obviously, as always happen, because we are energy and we attract the same energy. So since I started to thinking about try to do it, ayahuasca or mushrooms, like now I'm meeting all the people, that is on the same frequency, all I make connection with the people with the same frequency that redirect me to other people that basically are answers to my questions. So we are energy, and whatever is inside is gonna redirect you to the reality that match your inner energy. Don't forget that. Have a nice day.